Thank you, Mr. Evans, for yielding. I just want to point out that was mentioned by one of our colleagues that the President Trump has made all these pledges and promises to protect Social Security, and we shouldn't be worried. But we are worried because, his right-hand person is calling it a Ponzi scheme. Republican members of Congress have bills to do away with it and to privatize it and to let it phase out. This is terribly concerning. And I want to point out that all of these promises that then candidate Trump made, we're hearing about from our friends on the other side of the dais, none of those were a promise to privatize Social Security, and that's what he's talking about now. It's been pointed out that he's against waste, fraud, and abuse. Well, we're all against waste, fraud, and abuse. But the fact of the matter is, the Trump administration is firing federal prosecutors across the country, threatening to impeach any judges that don't agree with him. And it looks to me like if there's a big void in this fraud area, if there's all this fraud that's being being discovered, why aren't there charges being filed? Fraud is against the law. And if someone breaks the law, you file charges against them. I haven't seen any fraud charges being brought up after all this investigative work. Waste, we've seen the result of all of the reported waste, the waste of people 350 years old collecting Social Security benefits. We already know that that's just not only a false claim, but it's a laughable claim. So I'm not sure where this waste is. If there is waste, let's work together to do away with it. And as far as abuse, the most abuse that I've seen so far is the abuse that our constituents who rely on Social Security and Medicare or Medicaid are experiencing right now. That's very abusive what's going on. I yield back the balance of my time.
Gentleman yields back. Now recognize Mr. Snyder for 5 minutes to strike the last word.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I move to strike the last word. I'm proud to join my Democratic colleagues today to support HRES 195 to compel the Trump administration to provide to this body all information pertaining to Elon Musk and his Department of Government Efficiency's attacks on the Social Security Administration. I can tell you my constituents are writing, calling, pleading. They are profoundly concerned about what the DOGE or DOGE is doing to Social Security. Maybe there's a good plan, but they don't know, and the words we're hearing, Elon Musk calling it a Ponzi scheme, give reason, legitimate reason for concern. The American people deserve to know what DOGE is doing, whether it is strengthening or undermining Social Security and the safety net in this country. Social Security is an earned benefit, period, stop. After a lifetime of hard work, millions of current and future retirees are counting on their Social Security benefits that they worked for, they paid for, that they have earned. I didn't think that I would have to sit in this hearing room and make the case to my Republican colleagues, but we must do everything we can to protect Social Security. 40+ years ago, Congress worked together to strengthen Social Security for the next generations. That burden is falling on us, and unfortunately, we are turning our back and abdicating our responsibilities, Congress's responsibilities, acquiescing to the demands of an unelected oligarch. Social Security is under direct threat from Elon Musk and DOGE. The millions of workers who have followed the rules for their entire careers and paid into this system deserve to trust that their hard-earned benefits will not be cut by an unelected oligarch. My Republican colleagues today will tell you that the Trump administration will not hurt Social Security and benefits. We even heard a recording of the president's voice, and that the Democrats are needlessly causing panic or obsessed with Elon Musk. Let me be clear. I would love to never think or hear from Elon Musk ever again. I wish I could count on the president to be true to his words. History has shown otherwise. This week I had a telephone town hall, and I promise you that the people on that town hall are frightened about the actions of Elon Musk and the false promises of President Trump. They are scared that their benefits are at risk. I wish I could provide them the comfort and confidence that Social Security is safe. But sadly, that's not the world we're living in today. Elon Musk thinks Social Security, and again I am quoting, is the biggest Ponzi scheme of all time. And he's the one in the driver's seat. Benefits that are earned by people working and paying into a system are not a Ponzi scheme. Elon Musk has said that the fraud in Social Security is the big one to eliminate. I agree we should eliminate fraud. We should work to eliminate waste. We can all agree that there are improvements to be made in the federal government, and processes can always be made more efficient to better serve the American people. That's not what DOGE is doing. In my home state of Illinois, we have 2.3 million Social Security beneficiaries, people who rely on their Social Security income that they paid for and earned to make ends meet, to give them the security and a dignified retirement. They want good customer service. We talked about it here. One of my colleagues said that, hey, we're improving customer service. Well, DOGE is planning to close Social Security field offices and hearing offices and reduce staff. That's not going to improve service. What impact will that have on the 70 million Americans who receive Social Security benefits? Rather than improving service, these actions will undermine Social Security's ability to serve beneficiaries and deliver payments on time with certainty. And that's just wrong. Social Security is a sacred trust. It is the foundation of our economic security. The American people deserve to know what the administration is planning for the future of Social Security and the Social Security Administration, and what impact that will have on their benefits. I urge my colleagues on both sides of the aisle to support this resolution, simply asking for transparency, for information about what the administration is doing to an earned benefit Americans have worked hard for. If it's true, as my Republican colleagues say, that Musk is no threat to the system, let this resolution prove us wrong. And if, as we believe, Musk has plans to privatize, to minimize, to reduce, and ultimately eliminate Social Security, we should know that as well. The American people deserve to know the truth. I yield back.